Hello.
Hi.
Where's Mr. Mulek?
I think he's making his salad or something.
Oh, Nora, do you know what time English SGI is today?
4.
4? Okay, wow.
What are you doing?
Okay, now I'm here.
Hi.
That scared me.
Boo.
Alright, for a second I thought it redirected me to a different meet when I saw the meeting.
So I think I accidentally set up the meet with my personal email account, and then when I tried to join with my Bronx Science account, it was like, you can't do that. And I'm like, what? So
No, when I entered the meet, there's like that lady, so I thought like it took me to like a different meet or something.
oh, maybe. Okay.
You know what I realized? You really like that red shirt. Not the one you're wearing.
Oh,
Because you wore it in the video that you posted, and then when I finished the video, I saw like an office hour like recommendation, and you were wearing the same shirt.
it was the same exact shirt. Well, I like these shirts, yeah.
And you're also wearing it in your like profile picture.
Mm-hmm. I think that's actually a different shirt. I bought a replacement shirt of the same kind. Okay, so I want to download the Gray Book.
It's raining.
If anyone has questions, I'm all ears.
Silence.
Oh, actually, I was about to ask. It's surprisingly not raining here now, but it's been getting darker for the last 20 minutes, so can't wait. I'm actually genuinely curious because this came up in our meeting last Thursday. So we're supposed to be doing like 2 graded assignments a week. And I bent those rules. We do 2.5 lessons a week and a homework. Are your other teachers sticking to that plan of like moving at half pace and only giving you like 2 graded assignments a week?
Honestly, for me, it depends like teacher to teacher. Like, I have a project for my global class and it's due next Wednesday, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, she's like not giving any work. For my math class, we have like 2 assignments due every week, something around that.
Oh,
For English, we have like 1 assignment due a week, so it really depends.
but it sounds like they are all kind of sticking
Yeah.
where they should. Okay. I heard from a
Posted anything.
couple of teachers said that their students came to them and said like, I'm overloaded. As long as it's not you guys, I'm happy.
Well, I don't know, because my schedule is a bit different because geometry, like, he gave us an optional final assessment, and then after that, he hasn't posted anything. So I'm gonna assume that we're done, unless like we have to do the Alex every week, and it's due on Saturday night. But that's not too much because you can manage an hour within the week.
Mm-hmm.
History, we're done with all the lessons, but she's giving us like current event stuff to like for us to do until like school year ends. Chem, you know.
Well, yeah.
And then English, right now, we're doing a book, but like we're also doing a research paper that's due tomorrow. But like she's letting us hand it in like anytime over the weekend because she gets that like we might be overloaded. And engineering, Sia and I have to design an airplane.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, as far as chem is concerned, you got the only thing left is the project. I'm not making any more lessons mandatory, right? So basically, I finished the organic chem unit, but I would say that I gave you a surface overview on top of the fact that Regents chemistry is already a surface overview. Like there's an added layer of I didn't say a lot of things. So
How many more days do you think it would have taken for us to learn like all the honors chem stuff?
well, honors chem there isn't any for organic.
Oh, there isn't?
No. So I don't know how well you guys can see. So at the top here it says table R and reactions. That's 2 lessons. And then I listed what that would actually be down here. I condensed down 6 or 7 lessons into 2.
Oh yeah, you said today was the last one.
Yeah, we would have taken our time to go through and look at all these molecules and look at what their properties are and how they react. And we just said no thanks. Because honestly, like if you're taking a multiple choice test, how things work, not super important. you're not going to see questions that say, how does this work? And then be expected to type in, like an explanation because it's multiple choice.
Yeah.
Okay. And here it comes. You guys tell me, is it going to rain soon? Kind of dark outside.
It kind of looks like it already rained a bit.
Oh, it
Or,
rained
like-
last night. It rained this morning. It's going to rain again.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I live in Queens and it's been raining over here, so probably it might start raining over there. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going. I definitely noticed that the lights are on in here, and that's great, but outside it's kind of dark. All right, let's see. I gotta put in more grades.
My window is drenched.
All right, Peter's on his way, it seems.
Did he email you?
No, he just posted on Discord.
For a second, when I heard posted, I thought you put it on Google Classroom.
There we go. There you go.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm glad I didn't see the comment. I also took a look at the Discord and something about cocaine was in the memes and jokes category.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
About how it was a type of amine, right?
Well, I have no idea. I'd have to go look at it. I didn't make that sound.
No, I don't. Yeah, it came from my computer, but I don't know where.
Mm. Ah, here it is. I don't know if you guys can hear it though.
We can hear.
No, I don't hear the rain.
Understand how to use Tinkercad to make a plane. You're on mute, Peter.
I have no idea how to Tinkercad a plane.
I'm not gonna make an actual one because, like, but
Yeah, I'm not going to make a plane with an engine in my house. So
because no, I mean like paper. Like, you could use a cylinder, but like for different fuselage shapes, you can't really use the cylinder for all of them. Airplanes. Fuselage.
Yeah, fuselage.
I've never heard anyone pronounce it. Fuselage. It's raining.
I think it's raining.
I think.
But I'm not positive.
It looks like the sun's about to set or something.
That's what I said. It's dark out there.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, I don't want to do this, but I'll do this. Peter, you made the mistake that everyone else made. Oh, he left.
what mistake? I accidentally left me.
Peter, you made the mistake that everyone else made when you had two side chains and two numbers.
Oh, oopsie.
That's fine. Like I said, everyone else made the same mistake. I'm just checking everyone's homework now that it's in front of me.
My pictures might be bad, but I did them in an unstable setting.
Easy enough for me to read. Oh my god. I have any reason to get an iPhone, guys.
You know, for some of them, I thought I was going to be able to handle it without the video because I'd already practiced some of it. And then I was like, I need to review this. Ah! Like the functional groups, I don't know. Because after you kind of explained it, I tried to memorize them, and I thought I had memorized them, but then I realized that I didn't memorize them.
That happens.
That was an emotional roller coaster.
Homework. Homework 504. Oh.
I might have to go in a second because I might have to do something. I'm not sure, though.
Okay. I mean, I'm here to chill. If you have questions, if you need me, I'm here. If not, no worries. I'm just sitting here getting rained on. I'm not getting rained on. Okay, that's fine. Kurt, Dylan. Cool. The other thing that came up in our meeting last week, other than you guys being overworked, we are all starting to talk about how this works next year. I mean, I was thinking about giving out another survey, but if you guys are here and you're not doing anything else, I would be curious to hear. I mean, do you have things that you think have worked, for lack of a better word? Do you have things that you think you'd rather see differently? Keeping in mind, other than like teachers should do more. I mean, I'll listen if that's your feedback, but yeah, okay, cool. I'll just do more, right? Like, if there's other feedback you have, I'm interested in hearing. I don't know what you guys think worked or didn't work in this class or in other classes.
Honestly, I think that we need to just go back as much as we possibly can, because online learning, it's really hard. At least I can kind of tell it's hard for teachers to like connect to students. So I get that. I'm guessing a lot of students are kind of checked out right now. And if that's happening at Bronx Science, you can kind of guess how it's happening at other schools. So I think that it's really important to find a way to just re-enter the building at school so that the teachers can have a better connection with the students and better like assess them and make it easier for them, or at least make sure that they're engaged.
Do you think that we would be experiencing something different if, say, things counted, right? Like, you can get a 0 if you don't do something. You can get a low grade if you do something lazily or poorly. Like, if things
I think that
counted
would help the majority of students, but it would help the majority of students in a pretty important way, but it could also severely hurt some students too. So I don't know how we would balance the risk reward with that.
Well, the only risk I can see is, you're worried about the students who are in a bad situation and they can't do work, right? Like, don't have access to a computer, parents out of the house, stressful situation. I would imagine in those cases it'd be similar to if we were in the building and you had to disappear for a while. I could see that being just the same.
Oh, yeah, that's a fair point.
There are people who go through some pretty difficult times outside of a pandemic.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm trying to suss it out, because I will be honest. There are a lot of people who are saying we will not be seeing a return to standard education, as you might put it. And so I'm trying to figure out, if that comes to that, if there's anything I can do that would better help those that I'm working with.
Yeah.
But what I would imagine is that, at least in terms of Bronx Science, what they would do is they would say things like, all right, so we can actually expect you to do some work now.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to make it out to be like grades are your guys' only motivation, but everyone cares about their grades.
Well, at least at this school, yeah. I do think though that that one proposed solution that it really doesn't seem feasible is the scheduling of kids coming on certain days and kids coming on others days, because maybe on a high school level makes sense, but it's not really scalable to other grades, because as a high schooler, I could know, I have to go on this day, I don't have to go on this day. But as a parent, it's especially a working parent, it would be very hard to keep track of that for a child who's younger. So I don't know if that's going to work. So I suppose it's probably either, because I don't think we're the only ones thinking of this. I think that it's most likely either going to be just regular school, but which seems to be increasingly unlikely, or we are gonna be doing online school again, which would be very frustrating, but it might be necessary, I guess.
You sound so happy about that. Something else I'll say, thoughts people have been having. So you've kind of hit the nail on the head, right? It is more necessary for that regularity to be present in lower grades.
Mm-hmm.
So say you have a situation where you don't magically have twice as many schools, but you do need to spread the kids out. A lot of people are saying in social distancing rules, because even if for some reason we are at phase 4 open, that doesn't necessarily mean go back to school and everything's fine. That means still exercise social distancing. And so what you're talking about with like things like mixed schedules, that's one thing. But the other thing to consider is how do you cap? They've said 15 is a good number to cap your class at. Now we're Bronx Science, our classes are 34. You can say, okay, 17 is a good cap, half a class. But that's not even the issue. That means you need twice as much building. So some people are saying there's nothing saying that half of all students need to go back in September, which is kind of scary because, like, stay with me on this one. If it's more important for younger students to be in school, instead of saying half of the students come back, you could say the lower half, the younger half of students come back.
No, Mr. Mulek's too smart. No, you're not.
This isn't me talking. I'm just telling you guys what I have seen in my research and my reading.
Are there some evil DOE geniuses who are going to take school away from us?
Right. Well, there are people who are saying, how do you send half of kids back? And exactly what you just said, right? Like, younger students are less able to have that flipping schedule, that flipping routine, that flipping, I can't remember what the word is, but like all those words. So instead of saying third graders come to school every other day and high schoolers come to school every other day, you say, if you go to fourth grade and you go to X school, go to Bronx Science. Which is funny because then you still raise the question of who teaches that other half of that class. And
you do, Mr. Mulek.
I guess I teach third graders now.
He's just like screaming about them about hydrocarbons.
Yeah, see, I hear you on the final projects. I'm writing up the thing for these final projects for you guys for this course. I will give you guys the option to work in a group, but I'm also going to leave it open to working by yourself because other teachers who've given projects have already told me, like, for what they've heard from their students is, if we think we have a hard time tracking down students, you guys have twice as difficult a time getting in touch with your group mates to get work done.
Oh yeah, so I'm in my Spanish class and we have a final group project, and so already people are dismissive of me because they're all like older than me, but now they're extra dismissive of me because they don't even have to make eye contact with me when I ask them a question.
Well,
so
right, and I feel you because that's also been my experience, right? Unless I'm in one of these conferences, it is super easy to just delete my email, to archive it, to mark it as read, and not answer it. And I think all of our teachers, all teachers, not just even our school in general, are now experiencing this, where you guys have way more power. It's super easy to just ignore it. At least if you are going to school and you get in the building and you go to your classes, because you'll be punished if you don't, or because you feel like you should, which is how you should be thinking. Like, you're in the room, you can't hide from them.
yeah.
Samiha, depends on the assignment. If you submit something late to Google Classroom, yes, I get an email saying Samiha submitted an assignment late. I get an email and I get a notification on my iPad. For something
I
like
should fill out the form for the Test Wizard assignment.
Test Wizard does not tell me when anyone does anything, which is why I need you guys to tell me. So it depends on the platform and how they're submitting it. If, I don't know, like your English or history teachers, if they're having you use turnitin.com, that's the same as Test Wizard, where they don't tell me anything. I have to go literally check, which is obnoxious because it's like you guys email me saying I turned it in and I have to go check, and then 2 hours later a different kid says I turned it in and I have to go back and check. And that's why I want to do them all at once. Yeah,
I mean, I'm really worried that we're not going to go back to school because the slower curriculum is not. And I know this is not the biggest concern, but you've done a nice job about like telling us about resources that we can use for like to speed everything up. But like in some other classes, we can't really, like, we're kind of just stuck doing something really slow. And I feel like I'm not learning, and it's frustrating because I worry like next year, if we do go back to full pace, am I going to know everything I need to know? Am I going to be ready?
So the nice thing about being in the same building So the nice thing about, like, in terms of science, if you go take AP Bio next year,
I
very
am.
little about what I said in our class is going to show up in AP Bio. That's the nice, like, a lot of the sciences have enough things different. A lot of us teachers don't have any assumptions of prior knowledge. And the other thing I should really say is, especially because you're in the same building, especially because everyone's aware of the situation. Like, no one's going to be like, "Ah, yes, you did everything you should have done last year." Everyone knows what happened this spring. No one's going to be suddenly be like, "I expect you to be at certain level." They're going to know what's walking into the room. And I'm going to have to do that next year with my students. I'll have to be like, "Oh, okay, so there's a chance you didn't learn very much during the spring, or you don't retain it, or something happened in your life where you just were not an active participant in school." And I have to be ready to work around that.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
It's a crappy situation. I completely agree.
Is it likely we'll go back?
Obviously we're all trying to get everyone back to school, because the other thing is, and I can't speak to all of your guys' home life, but some people are like questionable on going to work because someone's got to stay home. Like you said, especially about the younger students. If there's an 8-year-old and they're not going to school, then the parent's not going to work. Period.
Yeah.
So if the economy starts back up, if businesses start opening and parents do need to go back to work to make money, that kid has to go somewhere. So that's why they're saying, like, we have a social system in place and we have to get it back in place. The question is, to what degree? I think it's not gonna look the same as it did last September. It's as simple as that.
Maybe to reopen news. What NYC schools could look like this fall?
Yeah, but who wrote that article?
ABC7, Eyewitness News.
Which, again, they're not the DOE.
Yeah.
But so, like, they're purely in the realm of, projection.
And could is even in the article. The word could is even in the article.
Right. And so there's also, like, depending on what resources you dig up, you can look at what the DOE is saying. You can look at what the teachers union is saying. There's a principals union that's different from the teachers union. You can look at what the state is saying. There's all manner of, you can look at all manner of sources. Or I'm just trying to teach you guys to be skeptical of the right people.
My English teachers did as well. If there are the words possibly, maybe, then probably don't
Well,
trust
really,
them.
if they say all that, the first thing I'm looking for is, are they citing another source, and can I see that other source? I don't know
A
if you
shady
guys are
blog
going to
article.
go in. Niall Red is another one of those YouTube channels that I watch, but he's a chemistry-based guy. But, like, one of the things I like about what he records, I don't really find his speaking voice very appealing. It just sounds weird to me. That said, he does make a point of saying, like, when he went and did research to figure something out, he's like, I found a paper that says this, and here's the paper, right? Like, he does the right thing by science standards. He cites his sources.
Electro boom.
Oh, yes.
That guy's crazy. Like, he drops a, like, 1,000-volt thing into his hands.
And then he screams. Well, he doesn't just scream. He just like throws out every curse word he knows.
He's the Oxford Dictionary of curse words.
I think there's a lot more beyond the F word.
Yeah.
That's like the only word.
Oh, I watched a YouTube video today. It was very educational. Oh, what did you learn? I learned the word.
I learned some words today.
Yeah, new words that I can use.
So this goes there, that goes there.
No, but then again, with the whole reopening thing about them sending kids back to school and people not being able to go to work if their young kid can't go to school, then they might just prioritize young kids over.
Well,
If
and
school
that's
opens, I wonder Well, it
That's what I'm saying. And then, okay, so if you can wrap your mind around that, take it to the next step. So instead of saying young kids need full day education more, so let's put them in school. Peter, think about exactly what you just said. You learning now is harder than you learning in school. So if we're going to approach this from a place of justice, what is just? Not fair, not even, but just. What we should be saying is those who need the most get the most. That sounds appropriate, right?
Yeah, I guess.
But just think about like in several other situations, those who like if I give everyone the same thing, that might not be as equitable to everyone. Right? If I say everyone in the country gets $100, some people that $100 is going to mean a lot. Jeff Bezos, not really going to notice that $100 because in the time it took me to say this sentence, he's made more than $100 on his wealth. So that's what we would call like fair or like even, but not necessarily need-based. So if you want to talk about need-based, third graders need to be in the school more than 10th graders. But within the realm of 10th graders, could it hypothetically be possible that some 10th graders would benefit more or need more help or need to be in a classroom a little bit more than others?
Oh, so they're gonna select the most. So they're gonna. But how would that?
I'm not saying what they're going to do. I'm saying this is a realm that could be taken. This is a
Yeah,
realm.
yeah. So what would they do? Well, like if they did go this route, would they just get the kids with the lowest grades and put them in school, and then leave?
Or, well, so that's one way to take it, right? You could say those who are most at risk for failure, most at risk for falling behind, most at risk for not engaging once they're at home, are the ones that we should be targeting and bringing in first, if we have a choice in the matter. If we say we can only open at half capacity, or you might say something like the schools that need to open first. Get to open first. Because if you want to think about it that way, if you need class space, right, to spread out students, and exactly right, Nora, you're right, and those who don't have the accessible technology is evenly, right. I'm not even just talking about academic ability. There are those who need more. All I'm doing is I'm not trying to be pessimistic. I'm not trying to be like mean or negative on you guys. I'm just opening up the possibility in your mind of what kinds of things could happen. Because very likely we could be going back on September 9th, I think it is, 10th, and everything will be fine.
Socialist XT.
Or there might be the kind of thing where you have to stop and get your temperature taken. Or you do the thing where we're doing like, you come in, we have A and B days, and you come to school on A days and you stay home on B days, and someone else comes on B days and stays home on A days. Or they might say the thing where it's like, I don't know, school down the road, you guys are coming to school every day, but half of you going to Bronx Science and half of you are going to your school. Bronx Science students, you're going to do distance learning for the month of September. You're going to do distance learning for the months of September and October. Why? Because yes, you might be behind, but honestly, I've been doing you guys a favor. I haven't been lecturing. I've been working for you guys to, well, I mean, in the last 3 months I have been, but I'm not talking about that. In the classroom, I'm trying to say, like, we work a lot on understanding and practice and taking time and letting you ask questions and exploring curiosities. I could probably teach the content a lot quicker if I just talked, showed you things, and let you do worksheets at home. And obviously this is not what we would call an ideal situation. Ideally, we'd all be back in schools, but ideal might not be possible. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to leave that open in your minds to not try and scare you, just to say if this is what comes to happen, maybe you're not surprised. You might disagree with it. You are welcome to disagree with it. I would disagree with it too. But it's something to consider.
Oh yeah, I saw a TikTok about that, the school bell thing.
I'm sorry, but I have to throw in a joke. The juniors who are laughing at the seniors.
Oh yeah. Wait.
No.
I think I know how the bell sounds. I have a thing.
I wonder how many parents are going to send their kids to school if we like do go back.
That's the other thing, right? Like, so
Because
one of the
considering how many
choices you can
kids
make
didn't go,
is, even if we open up all the doors, 2
How many
weeks
parents
before
are
we
gonna bring
went into
them?
quarantine, parents were pulling kids from schools.
also like Valo and stuff, because like kids sit together.
Right.
Also,
It's not
actually,
like-
my mom got an email from the chancellor telling them to prepare for doing a mix of online learning and going to school.
Yes, we were just discussing
No,
what the mix
yeah.
might even look like.
No, my opinion on that is disagreement, because I think that that's not how I'm supposed to use
My
words.
opinion is
disagree.
My opinion is
That's
disagreement.
not supposed to be how I use in the English language. But I think that the idea that certain high school students don't need supervision, or their parents don't need to be advised as to what they do, is not all kids are like model students who will go to school if they're not told to go to
Needed.
school, or won't track them to go
Yeah.
to school. So
Trap
what I mean
chicken?
by that is their parents, it'll be hard for these parents, especially working parents, even of high schoolers, to keep track of when their kid is supposed to be going to school if we do stuff like that. And because of that, it could be just as unsafe for the high school kids as it would be for the younger ones.
Oh, are you talking about like skipping class and stuff? Like
Right.
Yeah.
parents think they're going,
Do
yeah.
bad stuff.
But
We all
just-
know.
But so what you're saying
Drugs.
is, don't ignore that high schoolers might be at risk. I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is,
The
your
risk might be
disagreement
greater.
is saying open up all buildings, and that just might not be an option.
And then I'm thinking
No,
about like
that is the right
Yeah.
case to make. It's a crappy option. But I'm just saying, like, yes. But on average, a high school junior is probably better able to shoulder this than a second grader. And
Oh, yeah,
unfortunately for you guys, someone that is in the honors track is better able to shoulder this than someone who's getting a 60 in the Regents class.
No.
Yeah,
I
because
won't be able to handle it.
This is
no
this-
SATs.
what you are pointing out right now is exactly the difference between equal and just. And I understand, Peter, that it can feel like you're getting the short end of the stick, and you are. But the reason you're getting the short end of the stick is because you can stand pretty tall on your own already,
Yeah.
and that's
Wow.
that's the problem.
Beautiful wording.
Yeah, but it's a backhanded compliment.
Well, but I know I've lived it too. You don't need as much help. You can do it on your own.
I thought, yeah.
Everything you just said, by virtue of you being here right now, everything you just said probably applies less to you. So all of those supports that we would be putting in place by having a student in the building, like, again, I don't mean anything. You don't need them, not as much. I mean, I know this is true of your guys' class and every time I've taught freshman honors chemistry. If I'm needed to, if I walked in on the first day and I said, here are your textbooks, I'll see you in June. Would you maybe get as high a grade on your own? No. But the level of success that you would have would probably be higher than if I were to do that in a different class or in a different school. All that's missing is your motivation and your resiliency there. But the raw academic ability, already there. My job is to take that and take it farther. But if we're talking about what is like bare minimum, that's why the first thing I did when we came to this is I was like, I'm doing the Regents curriculum. Why? Because I don't need to do the honors curriculum. And if I try and do it to you guys, I will lose more people. I will probably run myself ragged preparing extra lessons. The safest thing for everyone to just make it to the end point. No, it's
I don't
really
know.
crappy. I agree.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why. I just thought of this. It's like we're standing in water, and then the Regents Chem kids, like, can I don't know what I was thinking. They're like not drowning yet, but they can keep their head right above water.
Well, and that's
Super tall.
and
And
I
it's
think
like
that's
cutting off our feet.
the better way to put it is, right? Like, so we're all tossed overboard, and you're like everyone's floating there, going, "Man, it would be really nice to stand on a boat or be on land." And I'm like, okay, that's not an option. So what can we all do to make sure we're all at least keeping our heads above water?
That's better than cutting off people's feet. Because Val
Okay, so,
also, because
so we're all in the middle of the ocean, and some people know how to swim, and some people don't. And we have a bunch of those like inflatable water wingy things, but we only have enough for half of the people.
Right, and so if you can swim, it'd be probably better for you to at least swim some of the time. To make room.
yeah.
That's about it. You got it.
Yeah, but that's not Darwinism.
Well, no, Darwinism turns around and says, if you're going to fail, screw it. But then I think...
No, that's a disgusting philosophy, in my opinion.
Well, it's not very humanistic. I'll give you that.
Yeah. You know,
That's
when you
the
think
trouble,
about
that's
it,
the problem. If you want to be humanist and nice to everyone and helpful to everyone,
don't feel like
sometimes
Darwin.
that means saying, I can only help those who need the most help, because that's all I have the energy and time and resources to do.
Prime example A, Mr. Meal.
Yeah.
No, because
I'm just saying.
The honors kids, because they're the only ones who come to his meet sessions.
But
his
that's,
daughters?
But that's kind of my point.
The honors kids.
I don't have to push you guys to come here. You're here the whole time, every time. I don't have to nudge you guys to do it. If I were trying to approach this a different way and I said, who needs it, I wouldn't do this. I would be calling kids, I'd be calling parents, and I'd be trying to set up individual. This is SGI. There's the people who are mandated, and there's the people who show up every day anyway.
But there's nobody who's mandated.
Right, but I'm saying it would function the same way. Should I be spending my time with the people who are here anyway because they want to hang out? Or should I be actually doing my job as a teacher and helping the kids who don't understand what's going on? It's a hard question.
Kids who are here and just want to hang out.
Right.
I feel like the end of our meets get more interesting. Like in the beginning, it's just silence and salad. Silence, salad, and soup.
Eating
Why do
things
you
like
think I do nows that are like 20 minutes long in class?
Triple S, silence,
salad,
and
warm
soup,
up.
and lettuce. Yeah.
the do nows in the thing are not a warm up in the videos, so I have to warm up before. I had to adjust my I have to
Peter.
You can go back and watch 5 minutes of the previous video.
I'm like chemistry. What is chemistry? Chemistry is atoms for like 5 minutes, and then I open the video and I click. It's like, hey guys, and it's like, do now, done, lesson done, everything done. It's really fast compared to what we normally do. It's going half speed, but it's going half speed faster.
Yeah, I know. Well, okay. So to go back to my original point, right? Like things like that, that's the kind of thing I want to hear. So if I was shooting for what I might consider half speed, I wasn't doing half speed talking. I was trying to talk as quickly as possible to get through the information as quickly as possible so that it's not an hour-long video. Because if we meet for an hour and a half every day, half speed is 45 minutes a day. But what I was doing instead is I said, let me take, we have on days and off days. But if I miss the point, see this right? If I miss the point on that and I'm going too fast, that's the kind of thing that would actually be helpful to tell me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
I wonder what would go on. Bye, Saraya. Oh, she's gone. I wonder what would happen with Valo, because if you do want kids to distance, then you probably won't have kids sitting next to each other like the seats are, like we did originally. But then to do that, you would basically have to take half the kids off the bus and then make another bus for them. But then to do that, Valo would have to get 2 times as many buses, and yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm nervous.
Count A counts the number of cells that are not empty. Okay.
Honestly, I have a ton of free time now, but I guess some people don't because their teachers are giving them lots of work.
Well,
But-
Peter, that was actually the last thing I was asking before you got here. I was actually asking everyone because I heard in my department meeting that some of my colleagues, like physics and chemistry teachers, their students were saying that the other subject teachers were actually not listening to the whole half speed, 2 assignments a week thing. So
Oh,
that's,
all my teachers are totally chill with all that stuff.
but what you're saying is some teachers are not doing that?
I assume that some teachers are not from the complaints that I hear from people, but I don't know if those complaints are valid because I don't remember who's saying them, and I don't know if I can trust those people.
Right. So when you hear a complaint, you're not hearing from like someone, you're not hearing from someone in your class per se. So it might be possible that, okay.
No, and also, like, it's Bronx science. People are masters of reverse psychology here. They know that if they want to get less work from one teacher, they can tell that teacher that they're getting swamped with a ton of work in another class, and that teacher will likely lower the volume of work that they're receiving.
Fair. Okay.
So, because the teachers are so nice and flexible. So I'm not sure what complaints are valid or not. So basically, I have trust issues.
In the last 2 weeks, I've had more students assume that I am incompetent. That was, I know that's not directed at me, but assume that I am able to be manipulated, pliable, and incompetent.
No, I'm not. That wasn't directed at you.
No, I know, but like for the number of times I've heard things like, "Oh, I thought you weren't going to check," or "I was hoping you wouldn't notice," or if I complain, the teacher will listen. Like
Transparent. I've noticed that you're putting up pupil path grades now. I think the last grade my global teacher put up was the Byzantine Empire stuff. And I don't even remember when that was. That was like,
Oh yeah,
when
10
was that?
in participation, even though I own.
D2.
Yeah, so guess I'm not getting, because I don't know how she's gonna like strain herself that much to go from the Byzantine until the German monarchy.
What's a little bit insane is how much everybody's grades are going to bounce.
How much what?
Everyone's grades are just going to spike because if they've been doing all their work like the bare minimum, they're going to be getting two more. They're going to be getting 2 more points to all of their grades.
Yeah.
And their grades are already bouncing if they were lacking in the homework department. So, and the easy gimme projects that you've been giving us, and all the other.
Yeah, that's actually the math I'm doing right now. Is I'm trying to write a formula that will figure out what percentage of the work has students done. So,
I need to.
yeah, I'm with you on that.
It's pretty funny though. Like, I don't know. I want to know what the average grades in some of my classes are because I don't know. Like the biggest problem for most people in my Spanish class was that they didn't do the homework, right? So have they started doing the homework now?
I don't think so. But
Because their grades can go down.
because it's not gonna count against them. I know. I have my own feelings about all of that too.
Oh, I my Spanish teacher gave us this project about like social change, and apparently I did it well. It was about the environment, and I thought that I tried to be serious about it and do like a good speaking voice, but I'm not a good persuasive speaker in a second language. Okay, I have to go now, so thank you.
I mean, yeah, you can. I think we can all head out. It's after 3.
And it was like
Yeah.
I was saying stuff like,
302.
like this is like a literal quick clip from the video. And I was like, "Donde jugaron los niños?" And I'm like, it was so. All right, thank you.
I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.